like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now. Told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog. Yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk. Don't care what they say. I don't got no patience. I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it. Running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym. I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work. Told them it's strictly business. And I see through the face. They all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, I can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen them down bad, now they tryna hate. Same one shot that hit me for the raise. Got a mill, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whether the market is pumping or dumping. And today, we got an amazing live stream for you guys as Bitcoin has gotten a massive move to the downside. Obviously, we have a lot going on geopolitically, but it would be a complete lie to say that these signals for this pullback were not on the chart. And we're going to be taking a look at what those signals were on today's live stream, guys. I want to talk about how we got here, and more importantly, probably why most of you guys are tuned in right now, where we are likely going next. So with all that being said, guys, shout out to everybody tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some extra chances to win some free crypto on Friday's live stream. So smash up that like button if you have not already. And yeah, Bitcoin getting that big move to the downside, guys. Now, as you know, that 51 to 50K zone was a level of support we were looking at last week. And low-key got a little bit, I think I upset a couple of people looking at that level, but as you guys know, the only purpose for this stream is for me to give you guys unbiased, data-driven opinions, I guess. A data-driven opinion is better than an emotionally-driven opinion, but I'm just bringing the information here on the charts, and as you guys know, that higher time frame money flow on the higher daily time frames was on the way out, making us anticipate a lower high here, potentially getting that bigger move to the downside to break the lows that we made on the 4th of July. And here we are, once again, money flow is absolutely king and undefeated. Here we are at those lower prices. So I'm going to talk about how we got there and where we're likely going in today's live stream, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to the Mafia. I see Coin Hoover in the chat. What is going on, bro? We got Wick 589. We got Greg in the chat. K Diggity, what is going on? Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. We got Stanley in the chat saying, hey, yo. We got Jesse, what is going on? Shout out to Captain Kirk. Thank you for the super chat. Said, FYI, I love my mod brothers, guys. Show some love to our mods in the chat. You guys know who they are. We got Crypto Billy, Captain Kirk, Crypto Anon. We got Rob the Crypto Stock, Chemistry Bro, Deep Petty Crypto. You guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. And don't forget our most official, unofficial mod, Dave Digital. Checking in. What is going on, Dave? Good to see you, bro. We got Al Jr. We shouted out Wick. Let's see. We got Bullish Bradley, Nikki94 Boo. Good to see you. Thank you guys for all being here. And we got the Godfather, last but not least. We got the Godfather. Show him some love in the chat, guys. You do not want to disrespect the Godfather. Masanokas, French Toaster. We got everybody in here tonight. Drop those candles in the chat. If you have, smash that like button. Drop those candles. And without further ado, I don't want to waste too much time here because we are seeing that move down. Let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys. Oh, boy. Oh, she took the spill to the downside. Obviously, as you guys can see here, let me pull up the daily time frame. You guys can see we did get that drop to the downside here on Bitcoin, topping out, or bottoming out, I should say, at around $59,000. And I want to talk about kind of what we were looking at to potentially anticipate this move to the downside. And if you guys remember to our previous live streams last week and the week before, actually dating all the way back to the 4th of July, after we got this push to the downside, there were many reasons why not only we were anticipating this drop, but also a potential lower high retracement before a bigger drop to the downside. And this was all based off of money flow, as well as Fibonacci retracements. And, you know, as we see that 2-day money flow, that was kind of the first warning sign that we saw to anticipate the potential downtrend continuation. And you guys can see that 2-day money flow did wind up crossing over here. We got that drop down to 53K. And then on this push to the upside, we warned about a potential lackluster retracement. And again, guys, this is based off money flow. Money flow indicates the longer term trend. It doesn't mean that when money flow comes out, you have to just go down only, but it does indicate, you know, obviously you're going to get ebbs and flows in the market, little pushes up, little pushes down, little pushes up, but the overall trend, money flow will indicate the continuation of, right? So you see that money flow crossover. This is where you are anticipating lackluster bounces to the upside to put in lower highs and then continue the move or continuing the trend to lower prices, breaking that structure to the downside. And this was a possible scenario that we were looking at many times on these previous live streams. And even last week when we talked about it, some people were like, what is wrong with this guy? Why is he looking at such lower price? Why is he looking at the low 50s? We're in a bull run up only. But again, I am glad that I just still brought these levels up for you guys. And I'm going to talk about the key levels down here in just a second. But in order to understand where we're going, we have to understand, especially if you're looking to learn how to trade the markets, it's important to know how you got to where you were. So we saw the money flow crossover, gave us the possible scenario of putting in a lackluster bounce for a lower high and a continuation down, breaking that structure. And where do we put that lower high in, guys? It was the level we gave on the live stream, which was the golden pocket 786 retracement level, where we know if you are going to be looking for a lower high, the likely place for that to happen is between these two Fibonacci levels. And you can see we got that lackluster push up, got above the golden pocket, and then rejected the 786 with some really nice 12-hour bearish divergences here. We also had our local value area high of our main range that we were paying attention to, which is this range right here. You can see we came up, tapped that value area high, which was pretty confluent with that 786, as well as that weekly level we had up in here as well. So we did have some nice confluence there. Again, putting in that 12-hour bearish divergence. Unfortunately, well, I don't want to say unfortunately, but I was at the Bitcoin conference during this time. So although I was able to alert the premium Discord about this short zone that we were looking at, I did not personally take a position, which does kind of stink seeing this big move down. But it's okay, because all we need is moves in the market, guys. You don't got to catch the top. You don't got to catch the bottom. All we need is volatility, and we can make money as traders, whether it's a pump or a dump. But that is basically how we got here, guys. And in simple terms, you know, based very heavily on not only money flow, but also just those Fibonacci retracement levels. And again, that 2-day money flow, we had that 3-day money flow leaking out here as well. And then towards the end of last week, we were being very careful with these red dots popping up on some of the higher daily time frames. We now have a fresh red dot on the 5-day, the 6-day, and yes, we have the weekly blood diamond actually confirmed here on regular candles. If we pull up Market Cipher A, you guys can see that we do have that blood diamond confirmed here on regular candles. If we pull up the Heikinashis, which I believe, shout out to our boy CryptoFace. Please, CryptoFace, if you see this and I am wrong, please come in and correct me at some point. But I do believe that Market Cipher B is actually designed for Heikinashi candles. So, you know, we are getting that Heikin blood diamond here on the weekly. And I talked about this in my market update earlier that I posted this morning, and that is to kind of just show you guys, right? These weekly blood diamonds are actually pretty dangerous, or at least we only have one kind of other blood diamond to look at, as when we got our blood diamond here back in 2021 or 2022 in April, that started basically the big drop into the bear market. This was the first blood diamond we had ever seen on the weekly time frame, and it did give us that big drop. Now, I am not necessarily anticipating the same exact drop just because we dropped down. Let me just grab the percentage here for you guys. You know, about, grab it right here. About 68% to the downside. I'm not necessarily anticipating a 68% drop, at least right now, but you could just see how much pain these blood diamonds can bring and how rare of a signal they are. Even if we come on over to the Bitstamp chart and we zoom all the way out here, you guys can see, in the entire Bitstamp chart, we have never seen that weekly blood diamond until we wound up coming into the bear market of 2022, and now we're getting another one up here, which could potentially be a very, very, very bearish sign. But again, and then obviously, guys, we have all these geopolitical things going on. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but we got some stuff going on in the Middle East. Tons of really, really interesting stuff happening that could potentially bring prices down even further. But I do want to stress with you guys, for weeks, for about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even longer, as soon as we saw this money flow crossover into the red here on the 25th of June, these warning signs were on the chart, potentially looking for a big breakdown on that lackluster retracement. So, it's always, obviously we are seeing a lot of those crazy geopolitical things going on, but it's just a perfect example of show me the charts, I'll tell you the news every single time. Now, I'm not saying the news or these events that happen in the world don't move the market. Obviously, they do. But oftentimes, those warning signs are on the chart. And if you guys go back to a couple weeks ago on the live stream, when we were comparing this area of consolidation with money flow coming out back to, I believe it was up here, we were kind of comparing it where you have money flow coming out on the 2-day and you had your volume profile. And what happened? Price came back up, tested that value area high one last time before that big drop back down into another, kind of big dump here before we wound up coming up and breaking the all-time high once again for the double top and then the full bear market. But we were comparing these kind of two areas of consolidation as they were looking very similar. And, this isn't a weekly blood diamond. This is a 2-day blood diamond. But you guys can see, right, this is what we wound up seeing. And it's not the popular thing to come up here and even look at the bearish scenario. I never call for a price 100%. I'm never going to come up here and say 100K incoming, 50K definitely incoming. We always look at the bullish case and the bearish case, and then I try to let you guys know which way I'm leaning, as we are traders and we can make money whether price goes up or down. So we have to keep both scenarios in mind. And we, I'm glad that I just stuck to the information, didn't just put the bull goggles on and try to get a ton of clicks. We, gave those key levels and kind of that bearish scenario playing out. And you guys can see that money flow very rarely lies. And once again, the TA plays out absolutely beautifully, giving us that break of structure to the downside. And now we are coming down to test our key levels down here, where we did get a bounce from. There's actually a couple daily levels down here that we wound up getting a bounce from. But you guys can see, obviously, we did get the drop down to that lower price target, which was $51,000 to $52,000. Again, not the most popular thing to say online. People get pretty mad. But again, I feel a responsibility to be completely and totally transparent, or at least just honest to what the charts are saying. I don't make emotional trading decisions, as you guys should not either. You should base your information, your trades based off information on the charts, not how you feel about the market. So there's, obviously we looked at the bullish case as well, but we knew with the money flow coming out, it was more likely to get that breakdown to these lower prices. And a lot of people, even me, when we started looking at this, was like, guys, I know it feels crazy to look at 51 to 52K. I feel crazy too. But again, just bringing the information on the charts. And here we are, absolutely melting through that level down to 59K. But we are, now sitting above that level, which is nice. So, we saw that tapped, and we also do have some lower levels down here, guys. And again, I know it seems crazy to be looking this low, but just remember when we were up here looking for 51 to 52K, kind of seemed crazy. But, it's never it's always crazy until you wind up tapping the levels, right? And with that being said, on last week's live stream, we were also looking at these lower levels, right? Which we wound up obviously coming down to over the weekend. But we were saying, not that level, where is it? Lower support right here. We were saying, hey, if we can't get back above this value area low, bada boom, if we can't get back above this value area low and hold support and get the move all the way up back through the range, this kind of area between 58 and 59K where we had that CME gap, which we brought up a bunch of times last week. It was kind of like the talk of the town here, this CME gap. If we were unable to get down to these levels and hold this value area high golden pocket as support, or even this 786 value area low as support, we knew that that was likely going to cause the bigger breakdown towards that 51 to 52K level. And you can see these candle bodies on the 4-hour closing just above that value area low. But the real question is here that I know a lot of people are asking is, are we out of the woods? And I'll be honest with you guys. Right now, I was talking to the premium Discord earlier. for right now, I'm going to talk about the absolute key levels that we need to be looking at. Should we be anticipating a bigger move down, or should we be looking at this as a massive leverage washout before a massive move to the upside? And I'll be quite honest with you guys, although we did see a massive washout of leverage, I think it was like, was it $1.2 billion in liquidations in the crypto market? Absolutely crazy, but I will say, with the way money flow looks right now on the higher time frames, on top of the weekly blood diamond, which could be a very, very bearish sign, I do think there is a possibility of a bigger move down here. And it's not just crypto, guys. Obviously, if you guys have paid attention to the news at all or any kind of crypto content today, you will know it's not just Bitcoin. It is actually basically a global market meltdown. I'm going to take a look at the SPY as well as the QQQ in just a minute, kind of showing you guys how there is obviously massive weakness, as we already seen a breakdown, but there are signs on the higher time frames for the stock market that does look pretty alarming. And I do think that if we see the stock market absolutely dump, I do think this is likely to leak into these risk-on assets such as crypto. We even saw gold have a pullback today. If we pull this up, even gold pulling back, which is obviously very, very stable, still getting a big dump to the downside here. So everything is coming down. And I don't want to, come on here and just try to instill a ton of fear in people. That's not my job. But my job is just to bring you the information on the charts. And with the weekly blood diamond and money flow coming out here, even on the 4-day, coming down here, looking to cross over into the red. Obviously not expecting just a straight down line. Hopefully, obviously there's going to be bounces or ebbs and flows. But just if we do see a retracement here, guys, as we did come down to some of these key levels, such as 51 to 52K, I do just want to say this, right? If we do get a bounce, which is not impossible, right? We had some low time frame bull divs here, on the 30-minute, not really that strong. But, as we, continue to potentially bounce here, we may see some short squeezes, which could get some exciting movement to the upside. But I'm not as interested in catching these longs. If I am, I'm catching them as scalp trades or day trades. But to be quite honest with you guys, with the way money flow looks like on these higher time frames, if that money flow continues into the red, we can look at that bounce very similarly to how we were looking at this bounce as a possible lackluster push to the upside to put in a lower high and continue breaking structure to the downside. And this always sounds crazy until it plays out, right? I always felt crazy doing this on the live stream, but obviously, and there's a chance it wouldn't have played out, but there's a reason why we pay attention to these things, right? Because money flow, especially on the higher time frames, does not oftentimes lie. So as long as money flow comes out on these higher time frames, we could potentially anticipate lackluster bounces for the lower high and then a bigger break to the downside. And there's two main questions here. Number one, if we get the bounce, where should we be looking for a short? We're going to go over that. And I'm going to give the exact setup, but I'll give you some key levels that I will be keeping an eye on for confirmations. And then question number two is how low can we go, right? And this is probably why a lot of people are here. But let's go ahead and check it out. So if we do get that bigger break to the downside, where can we be looking or setting our targets? And I'll be quite honest with you guys. I'm going to pull up this chart here. And what we're going to be looking at is going to be in the 40s, obviously, because as you guys know, we had some consolidation down here at 51 to 52K, probably why we're holding that level just a little bit here. And obviously that was one key level that we were looking at. But if we wind up breaking that 51 to 52K zone, there's another big level I'm looking at, and it has to do with two major things. Number one, it has to do with the macro volume profile, which I actually think that we talked about on the live stream on Friday. And that macro volume profile is pulled here from the bull market top here in 2021. And I simply have extrapolated those levels over to the current price action, and this range extrapolated to the right not only helped us, and I think that we actually went over this exact thing on Friday, not only did this help us anticipate a break above the value area low, which was able to signal to me that we were going to get a move to the POC and then eventually to the value area high, but this can also give us insight into not only some key levels of support that, if broken, could cause a bigger dump to the downside, but if we look at this as a volume profile, I'm going to get rid of this fib real quick. These are going to be really, really key levels to look at, right? Macro value area high, macro POC, and this is on the Bybit chart, by the way, for anybody curious. And then we have the value area low. I don't know why this high is not labeled. Let me go ahead and snap that on there. And I thought this was labeled macro value area high. I might have it in a different folder. But yeah, I will just label this macro, and then I will label this also macro. Bada boom, right? So these are going to be macro levels we have to pay attention to. And last night in the premium Discord, I actually brought these levels up and was talking to everybody saying, hey guys, if we wind up getting stuck under this value area high, it may be possible to get a bigger move, because once we wind up losing that value area high, Crane C, Creighton C, let me know. I know you're in here, bro, and I know you know answer to this question. If we get stuck underneath that value area high, where's that next likely place for price to go? I kind of made it obvious. But that next likely place for price to go, guys, is going to be that POC. And you can see he almost got there with that wick. And, last night we were looking at that, and it wound up, being a pretty good call, looking for that move closer to the POC. And until we wind up getting comfortably above this value area high, we are at risk of losing this and coming to the POC, in which case we do have some nice confluence here. If I pull up some of these levels, you guys can see we have this previous area of consolidation between about 44,360 and about 40,800. And I'm not going to pull up every single level of confluence in here, but we do have a macro golden pocket sitting in here. And there's as well as many, many other levels and the naked value area. So if we get down to this POC, I'll be honest, right? Number one, we don't want to lose this macro value area high at $55,000, almost even. But if we lose this and come down, this POC is absolutely critical to hold. Because if we lose this POC, which, by the way, is coming in at 47.4, if we break below this, guys, obviously we have some key support that could save us in the event of like some kind of big liquidation run and maybe a big bounce to the upside. But if we lose this POC, this is going to be a very, very, very bearish sign in my opinion. Because if we don't hold these lower levels, and you start looking at this just in terms of a volume profile, anytime we look at these volume profiles, what do we look for? Deviations above the high. Once you break back below the value area high and can't get back above, you look to reject the POC and then go to the low, right? Deviate below the low, which is obviously a large deviation. This is where you would probably want to be looking to buy the dip on a large range like this. But once you get back above the value area low, you go to the POC, get a reaction, and then if you get above that POC, you look to go to the high. And what are we doing right now? And this is what I believe we were looking at on Friday's live stream, was this could be looked at as a deviation above the volume profile. If we get stuck under this value area high, guys, it's a pretty dangerous situation to be in, especially with a weekly blood diamond. I mean, really not a good spot to be. So that's why you really want to hold this POC, because if we are able to come down and test that POC, I will be looking for strong support. And then again, we have that backup support of the 40,000s, which again, we've looked at before, but it kind of just seemed crazy because maybe I was just like looking a little too far into the future here. But these levels are going to wind up coming in handy in case that big dump down does actually happen. But I will be looking at the market in these contexts. But if we lose that, 47, if we lose the 51, 52K level decisively, we are going to be looking down towards that POC at 47.4, and then we lose that POC. This is kind of the last line of defense before, in my opinion, you're probably at risk of a much bigger move to the downside. Now, I'm not calling for 31K or 30,700. I'm not calling for this. I'm just saying I'm trying to bring out these lower levels and the overall context of this volume profile to show you guys how important this POC and this last area of consolidation is going to be, right? This is extremely important support if we come down there. I'm kind of okay coming down, to the value area high and slipping it a bit. But if we start losing this low here, this low of this range, we could really be in some danger with Bitcoin. And now that we're seeing money flow actually come out on the higher daily time frames with the weekly blood diamond, it starts to get a little bit worrisome. Hey, shout out to Alex O. What is going on, bro? Hey, I heard you got married. Congratulations, bro. Let's go. Drop some party favors in the chat for Alex. Shout out to you, bro. Congratulations. Tony D told me you got married. Hopefully you had an amazing wedding. And I wish you guys a lifetime of happiness, bro. I really am so happy for you. Congratulations, man. I hope the wedding was beautiful. I'm sure it was. I didn't know. I might be late to the party. It sounds like it just happened though. So congratulations, Alex. Good for you, bro. Good for you. Just don't bring it up too much around Mrs. Candles. She'll start getting FOMO. I'm just kidding. But anyway, continuing on here, guys. This is the gist of it. Definitely in a very, very interesting position. And again, it's not just crypto. It's not just the money flow. It's not just the weekly blood diamond. It's also the stock market, which I'm going to take a look at in just a second. But before we do that, let's talk about the levels of resistance we're fighting right now. So obviously, we can see here finding that resistance on this macro value area high. And again, if we're looking at this as a volume profile, typically get stuck under the value area high. If you can't get back above, next move is going to be to that POC. 47,414, definitely going to be a huge, huge level to watch. Shout out to Pablo, said, hey, Frankie, thank you so much for all the content. Shout out to Pablo. I am just doing what I love. And finally, we're getting some beautiful volatility here, so it's getting a little bit exciting again. Shout out to you, bro. No problem. No need to thank me. I am just doing what I love. But I do appreciate you appreciating me. But yeah, this is going to be your key level, $5,500. Now, here's the thing. It's not that if we get above this level, it's just instant moon time. Because like I said, with the higher time frame money flow coming out here, if this gets a crossover into the red, likely the trend will continue to the downside, which would make you anticipate a lackluster bounce to put in a lower high and then break structure to the downside. And remember, where are those likely places, where are those likely lower highs to come in? Between the golden pocket 786. So we're going to do this exact same theory, right? We're going to use the same exact techniques here to try to find some key levels of resistance. And lucky for you guys, I've already found them, right? So you don't have to actually do it live here, but let's go ahead and pull it up. Maybe I'm tripping. I thought I had them marked out here. Bada boom. Okay, yeah, so here's some key levels. I'll actually just bring them up on the fresh chart here because they're kind of easy to find. So if we're looking for a potential lower high to come in here, we can, you could probably argue, that you have your 10-hour VWAP, your 10-hour green dot, your 12-hour green dot looking to print, daily VWAP starting to curve up here. Again, I'm not calling for a pump, but it's not impossible to get a little retracement here, and I want to find those key levels where if we are looking for that lower high, where are those likely places to get a rejection? And very simply put, guys, this is like TA Basics 101. Pull your fib from the high of the local move all the way to the low here, and you can see that the levels are coming in here at about between $61,797 and $61,089. And then your 786 is getting closer to $64,879. Now, again, there's no 100% guarantee that we get all the way back up there. But if we were to get that move up, this could be likely levels to look for those actual retracements at if we are going to get a breakdown to lower prices, which, again, we all know is sitting down here closer to that $47,000 level, and potentially even beyond. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't want to start bringing like total end-of-the-world scenarios out here just yet. Yeah, very simply put, pull your fib. These could be areas to watch, and then if we pull up our ranges here, you can see this golden pocket is also beautifully confluent with your value area low, golden pocket confluence sitting right there. So you do have confluence there, right? So you come up, and remember, guys, just remember, when we looked at this rejection right here before the drop to 53K, just to be clear, let me hide this real quick. Remember, when we looked at that, where do we get that rejection from? It was right from the right from the value area low, right? Because when you lose that value area, right, when you lose this level, that value area low is key resistance until proven otherwise, right? So you will. This is kind of like the next place that you would look for a short. Once you break it, that's going to be key resistance. However, you could see, I believe we did actually have some kind of confluence on here with a local golden pocket. You could see, so kind of a similar situation. This value area low is definitely, or not this one. Let me pull up the current range. This value, I think they're very similar, but this value area low is going to be absolutely key, right? So I'll just pull up that purple box here, showing that this is resistance, and that is coming in between $61,928 and $60,931. 786 also sitting at 64. We'll call it $64,879, because again, you don't know if you're going to come up and reject the golden pocket or if you're going to go for that 786. In this case of this rejection, you could see that we actually skipped that golden pocket and went right for that 786. You got a little rejection on the golden pocket, but then you went for that 786 value area high for the better rejection to the downside. But there's no way to tell, if you're going to get the golden pocket or the 786 to reject. So you want to keep an eye on both of these levels. They're definitely both going to be important if we can get up to them, right? This is, pretty far away at this point. It's about a 12% pump to the upside. But there are some more local levels we can look at if we come down to a little bit of a lower time frame. You could also just pull some local Fibonacci retracements. I would pull from this local high all the way to the low. And you could see probably another two levels I'd pay attention to, 56,500 as well as 58,222. And why am I looking at these levels, guys? Well, very simply put, if we pull, this is not just random. I'm not just pulling random fibs. Obviously, there's a reason for everything, and the reason I would look at this is because if we pull this previous range, you could see there is some confluence here with this previous value area. Actually, I could probably just pull up the where is it? Right here, right? So this value area is confluent. Not only is this golden pocket now confluent with this value area low, let me get rid of this golden pocket, get rid of these blue boxes. Not only is your golden pocket confluent with this previous value area low, but also your 786 is confluent with your value area high. So I don't want to give away all the levels here or any confirmations or anything, but these are definitely going to be a bunch of really key levels to look at to the upside for a potential rejection. If we get the move up, you could look to flip this value area low. If you don't get the rejection, That is the next likely place for that rejection. I do think maybe we would probably hang out in here if we don't get the rejection. We're probably going to get some turbulence around this previous area of balance. But if we just melt right through this level, these are, in my opinion, the stronger levels to look at. Really what I would love is a move all the way back to the POC. But we don't know if we're going to get that. Also, the POC, as price kind of consolidates, this POC can move down, which could become confluent with some of these levels. But these are the levels I'm looking at, right? Very, very simply put. So, if we do get the retracement, these are the levels that I'm going to be looking at for potential short positions. Can't really give any confirmations because it's kind of hard to tell at this point. We have to come up to the level. Remember, I am a level-to-level trader. We just have our key levels set, aka our traps or nets that we cast out into the ocean of the price. And as price comes into those traps or nets, we analyze to see if there are confirmations to actually take that trade. If there's no confirmation, we sit on those hands, wait for the next key level to get hit, and it is only until we see multiple confirmations to take that trade that we actually enter in. So there you go, guys. Those are the key levels, not only of support, but also resistance. I kind of wanted to spend a little extra time here on Bitcoin as we finally saw that move down. So I just want to make sure you guys have all those levels, and the Mafia is prepared to deal with anything that comes in here. But I do want to take a look at the stock market, guys, because if we take a look at the S&P, you can see that this thing is I'm going to turn on the Heikin-Ashi so I can just ignore all the gaps. You can see this thing is absolutely getting destroyed today. And this was something that I was looking at last night, and specifically, right, not only last time when we were looking at the stock market, not only are we seeing just like an absolutely overextended move here. I was talking to the Premium Discord earlier. When you see a big move like this, I just think of this as like, I'm trying to think of like a material that this would make sense for. Like, let's just say you were holding a pretzel, right? And that pretzel's super long. Oh, God, I can already hear the chat. That pretzel gets super long, right? But you're holding it by the very end. The longer that pretzel gets, this is the weirdest analogy, but it'll make sense. Stick with me. The longer that pretzel gets, the more likely that it is to snap off because all that leverage is being held at the end. So the longer that gets extended, the more likely it is for that to kind of just fall over, right? You can see here, this is just like, we call this extended giraffe formation in the industry. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. But, it just gets overextended. Eventually, it's going to fall down, right? You can just see, like, how long is that going to stay up here without just crashing down? Now, on top of that, taking a look at the 2-week, right? I was doing some analysis on this last week. Now, I don't actively trade stocks right now, but I do, take a look, especially, when we're seeing weakness in Bitcoin, when we're seeing all these geopolitical things going on. It is always a good thing to take a look at the stock market because oftentimes, guys, I know you have the 4-year cycle on Bitcoin. You have the halving, creates a supply shock, makes Bitcoin more rare. The price skyrockets. And until now, right, up until today, right, that's been very true every single cycle. There's no reason to kind of, not believe that. But if we are going to see if Bitcoin and crypto are just going to track with traditional finance, I think this is probably the time. And Tony Roaz said, Frankie, please hold my pretzel. Shout out to Tony Roaz. But if we are going to see, the stock market kind of just, if we're going to see if Bitcoin's just going to kind of, track with traditional finance rather than just kind of stick to its own halving cycle and blast off to higher prices, this is probably where we're going to find out about it because, if this isn't just a scare, we are going to see a global market collapse. Maybe this is the black swan of this cycle. We talked about this, we've talked about this ever since I started my channel. Are we going to see another black swan? It's going to be so fun to try to figure out what's going to happen. And is this going to be the thing? If it is, I think this is where you're going to find out if Bitcoin's just tracking with traditional finance or if it's kind of on its own schedule with the halving. So kind of like a big thing to find out here. But as we look at this 2-week, guys, bearish divergence on the 2-week is now printing, right? This is not like this is already played out in full or anything. This is just the beginning of a 2-week bearish divergence. And just to kind of show you guys the power of a weekly bearish divergence on Bitcoin, right? And this is just a weekly bear div. I guess you had it on the 2-day as well, 2-week as well. But you have those higher highs on your price action. You have the lower highs on your momentum waves, and causes big collapse, right? So obviously this is on Bitcoin, but you can just see, right, like a 2-week bearish divergence is not something you want to scoff at. On top of that, you're also getting a monthly red dot. These typically do give you some kind of a move to the downside, right? Last one, this one back here wound up giving a little push to the upside, but eventually wound up resulting in a 27% dump. This was back in 2022. And then this, if this was to do something, similar, yeah, could be a pretty big dump coming in here. And if Bitcoin is going to track with that, I don't expect it to hold. I don't expect Bitcoin to hold up against that, right? It would be really nice to see. I'm not saying it's impossible, but, I would probably have to put my eggs in the basket of, Bitcoin just following the traditional finance if we do see a big collapse, right? But that is also just another reason why I am a little bit, still looking potentially to more downside, because 2-week bear div, monthly red dot, just not the best sign here. Even if you look at the QQQ. Very similar situation, right? Monthly red dot, not uncommon. Monthly red dot, 2-week bearish divergence, higher highs, lower highs. So, potentially some big weakness. And then you just add in all that geopolitical stuff, all the Japanese stuff, the Japan stuff, the Middle East stuff, all this stuff really does wind up. It's pretty funny, right? Because here's the thing, right? This 2-week bear div has been, it just started printing, but, it was potentially flashing that warning sign as early as Monday the 15th, right? You start seeing this bear div potentially forming. So it's crazy how the charts can really give you insight into what might be coming down the road, right? Anytime I see a 2-week bear div, a weekly bear div, a monthly bear div, or anything like that, I'm looking at price saying, well, this is bearish. I wonder what the story is going to be to bring us down. And again, I'm not saying that the charts are the only thing that move the price, but it is just interesting, right? You just get those news stories after the confirmations of those bearish signals. So definitely a little bit sketchy out there, guys. But now you have the key levels of support and resistance to keep an eye on. So please pray for Bitcoin. Shout out to Steven Sansbury. Says, big night ahead. Yeah, we'll see what Asia does. Are they going to dump us or are they going to pump us? Either way, now you guys know where to look at for your next trade. So with all that being said, guys, go ahead and drop some of your favorite altcoins in the chat. I'll be honest, I may not spend too much time on the altcoins just because they are all bleeding, but I'm happy to look at some fresh support levels with you guys. And again, personally, for anybody who's interested in kind of my personal or my trades personally, I am not holding on to any trades right now. I'm still in my long from 40K, but definitely, maybe closing that if certain things happen. But right now I'm not holding any local trades. I was talking to the premium Discord about this. I am letting the dust settle, right? Unless I was looking to just randomly catch a knife here, or here, I should say. I really would rather see some consolidation, right? If you're here to learn and you want to learn how to trade crypto, whether the price goes up or down, you want to make money both ways. This is important to realize. And I'm gonna give you a little premium sauce here. Nothing too secret, but just kind of break down where I look for trades, right? I never, or I shouldn't say never, but I typically don't enter, right? Let's say you have a trend to the upside, right? And then you kind of range around, and then you get an impulse, and you get a downtrend, right? And then you get and then you get a range, and then you get a little move up, and then you get another dump down, right? So I am never entering my trades on breakouts or breakdowns, right? If I'm entering trades, I would prefer to enter in within the ranges, right? So for me, although you can pull your fib and look, if the trend is to the upside, your money flow is coming into the green, you can look to enter your trade on the higher lows, right? You can pull your fib, find the golden pocket 786, try to find that higher low to enjoy the rest of that trend to the upside. But for me, I would rather snipe the top or snipe the bottom. But typically, I'm not sniping the bottom of that actual move. The way we try to catch the tops and the bottoms, or at least me personally, is I let the dust settle. When I see a big move, if I'm not in from the bottom, from a previous range, I typically let the move happen, right? And then I just wait for another consolidation range so I can then pull my volume profile and find actual legitimate trade confirmations to give me a high probability setup. And what this does, right, not only can you scalp these moves in the local range, but now I have context and I can say, hey, money flow, let's just for example say money flow is coming out here, right? It's about to cross over into the red. Well, if I think that that's going to continue my downtrend, maybe I want to favor shorts on this range rather than looking for giga longs in the range, right? And then there, I can wait for price to approach the premium zone, right, or the value area high or the overbought level, and then I can look for things such as bearish divergences or whatever other trade confirmations I'm looking at. Sometimes they're swing failure patterns, and then I can look at those shorts, right? Let's say we get an SFP or something up here. I enter a trade. This is where I can now look for price to go back to the POC, back to the value area low, and if I'm anticipating money flow coming out to continue the trend, I can then hold a portion of that trade to enjoy the entire move down. But the key here is I'm not entering as soon as you get the pump, right? You need to give price a little bit of time to continue to consolidate and give you a little better context so you can actually look for a sound trade setup. Now, sometimes, is price just going to keep going up and you miss part of the move? Sure, right? But that's okay. I'm a trader. I'm not looking to just buy the bottom and hold it forever and then try to sell the top, right? I just need little moves up and down, and I can take these little scalps or day trades to capitalize. So Just a little trick, right? That's how I trade, right? Doesn't mean you can't trade on breakouts or whatever. But even here, if I were looking for longs, let's say money flow, was coming back up and we thought the trend was going to continue up, you could start looking for longs down within the range, but you could take them within the context, right? You're not just looking to catch that knife and snipe the absolute bottom. The funny thing is, oftentimes, even if you don't enter in on that last dumping candle, if you're trading these ranges, a lot of times you do snipe the bottom, which is pretty funny, right? Because it's like you don't want to catch the knife, but if you range around at the bottom, it's very easy to catch. Not easy, but it's a little easier to catch that knife. And that's kind of like what I did here from my long from 40K, right? Very simply put, we came up, right? I was not entering my long position, on the way up. Right? What I was doing, and right, I wasn't just coming down here and then saying, oh, I think this is the bottom, I'm long. That's not what I did, right? What I did, or, when I came up here, I'm not just like, okay, that's it, we're going to $1 million, I'm going to long here. What I did was I waited, just to give you guys an idea what this actually looks like on price action. What I did was I pulled my volume profile, right? And I traded in the context of the volume profile, where I'm looking for shorts at the highs and longs at the lows, or on the deviations of the lows, right? So very simply put, you can look for your scalp shorts up here, go to the POC, go back to the low. That plays out beautifully. Very overpowered strategy. It's not as easy as just shorting. You have to have some confirmation here. But what happens? You deviate below the volume profile, and this is where I was looking for the long position to eventually get a move back up to this value area high, but I was able to see money flow coming up, see my other longer-term signals for a continuation, and I was able to hold that trade for this entire move to the upside, right? So, and that's kind of how I like to trade. So that is why I'm letting the dust settle here. I'm not just trying to snipe the bottom of this and, pray that we come up. I would rather see some consolidation and then get a more sound trade setup. But while you guys while Rob the Crypto Snob has counted up the altcoins, did anyone drop any altcoins? Yeah, I don't know. Drop those altcoins in the chat if you want to see. Rob the Crypto Snob will let us know what we're looking at. Rob, he's already got them. Thank you, Rob. He's counting those votes. But let me come on over to the super chats while he's counting those up, and I will take a look at some of the alts. Like I said, probably not going to spend a ton of time here because a lot of them are just going to look the same, but I'm happy to find some extra key levels for you. By the way, shout out to Golden for getting those memberships, like even before the stream started. Gotta drop those memberships on the Mafia. We appreciate you, Golden. Thank you so much. I still have to answer your Discord DM. I'm not ignoring you. I do see you, and I will get back to it. Shout out to K Diggity. Welcome to the Muscle, bro. We got Captain Kirk saying, I love my mod brothers. Shout out to Captain and all the mods. Shout out to Chiz Dog, thank you for the tip. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for doing that. Let's see. Yo, Frankie's new chair. No way. No way. Somebody call the police on my chair. Unbelievable. Shout out. He says, Frankie, baby, you said you were going to pick me up a few weeks ago. I'm now on the street waiting for you. It's cold, and I'm about to sell my cushion just to stay warm. Please come get me. I'm better than that Lamborghini chair. Shout out to Frankie's new chair. Yo, who is that? Yeah, shout out to my new chair, which I guess this is like chair neglect. I should probably go pick it up. Thank you for the super chat. Yo, you guys are wild. Shout out to Tony D. Said, shout out to all 725 of you guys watching. Ask questions, smash the like, and if you're new here, welcome. Hit that like button and smash that like button, and hit the subscribe button as well so you don't miss any of our updates. Shout out to 870 of you. Smash out that like button. Guys, if we get 550 likes, I've been trying to stay off the numbers as, not going to lie, as attention has been pretty low on crypto. Trying to keep my mental health good, just not looking at the numbers here because it doesn't matter. I am here to bring information. I don't care if there's 5 people watching or 1,000 people watching. But if we get 500, let's say 650 likes on tonight's live stream, I will give away some Frankie Candles hats on this week's giveaway on Friday. And we'll give away $100 in an altcoin. We'll let you guys vote the altcoin, but we'll give away $100 on an altcoin on top of all the crypto we're already giving away on Friday that we do every week. So smash that like button if you have not already. Let's see. Tony D said check supers. Tony D said you should keep that drawing around just in case. I think I already deleted it. Shout out to Tony T. And then Creighton C, thank you for the super chat, bro, said Tony said check supers or else he's got a knife. I'm good at catching knives. I'll just tell you that. I'm just kidding. He said he's trying to catch it. I should have read this first. I don't know. You NYC guys do weird things. Sing before you fight. You like disco. It's weird, man. Yeah, shout out to Creighton C. We are unique characters in New York. And he's referring to something I talked about in the premium Discord. There's actually a video somewhere. Maybe I'll drop it in the free Discord just for S's and G's or shiz and gigs. of me and Tony D probably doing something kind of stupid, just playing throwing knives at each other and catching them. It was safe. We weren't completely ridiculous, but the video looks wild. But anyway, and Tony D said, we've been catching knives before it was cool. That is true. That is true. First, you got to catch real knives before you can actually catch the knives in the crypto market. All right, let's see. Shout out to Harris. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I want to buy XCN. Is it a good buy or reef? Well, I'll tell you what. I will go ahead and mark that down. XCN or reef. I will try to take a look at some of these. I just want to preface, I will try to take a look at these just because you were the first person, but just so anybody knows, if you're new here, Super Chats don't guarantee that we look at your altcoins. Obviously, they're easier to see, but we do go by the list that Rob does. So if you want to try, sometimes we can't get to them, but I always try my best to do it. Tony D said that's an absurd segue. Yeah, we're going wild here. Bitcoin's dumping, and we're losing our minds here. Catching real knives is safer than catching a long right now. Shout out to Jenny. Jenny. You got a big brain. You got a big brain. Absolutely. But let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Starting off with Ethereum, and then we'll jump into let's see. Yo, shout out to Masanokas. Says there's a CME gap at 64K. Can you have a look, boss? Also, how big is your pretzel? Shout out to Masanokas. That's for my Only Candles account. You can find that out. But shout out to Masanokas. Yeah, 64K. I actually did just pull up the CME indicator. Take a look at that CME gap real quick. What's going on here? Come over to the daily. What did he say? 64K. Interesting. I'm seeing 62K. Yeah, 64. I don't see one at 64K. I see it here between, 63. Yeah, let me pull up the yeah, so we have this one, right? 58 to 62. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see one at 64. But we do have one right here. 58, 59 almost to 62 right here. So yeah, anytime you are having trouble finding those gaps, you can pull up this BTC CME, obviously, exchange, and then you'll actually be able to see those physical gaps, right? And the reason the gaps are there, guys, if anyone who's like, what are these gaps? I don't understand. It's so confusing. Very simply put, crypto's 24/7, but Chicago Mercantile Exchange is not open 7 days a week, 24/7, so they close. And then when they close, right, that's price obviously moves, but that exchange doesn't move, right, because it's closed. So that's what creates those actual gaps for anybody who doesn't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here and take a look. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, Japan opens in 90 minutes. We'll have to see what happens. Pray for Bitcoin, guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump on over to Ethereum really quickly. Get rid of the CME indicator because this is wild. We do not want this on the chart. Get out of here. Bada boom. Well, shout out to Ethereum here. Actually, on Friday's live stream, I'll be honest, I was looking for lower on Ethereum, but to be totally honest with you guys, I was not expecting that much of a dump. I'm never going to come up here and pretend I predicted something we didn't, right? I did expect to potentially come down and take these lows. I did not expect to go to zero. So we did come down to some interesting levels here. I'm actually going to pull up this chart here as I do have, this is kind of the chart that we've been paying attention to. As we were trading around in this sideways range, we were looking to hold the value area low, daily naked point of control, where we also had this spider line sitting just beneath on that 786 daily naked point of control and a daily horizontal. That was kind of the last line of defense, and then we lost this, melted through the daily, and came down to these daily naked points of controls, sitting at 2355. And I'll be honest, guys, I felt crazy looking down here at these daily naked points of control, but here we are. This is why it's never a bad idea to be at least looking forward, even if you don't think you're going to get that price to come in. It's always good to have those levels on the chart. That way when price dumps, you at least have an area of price to look at where it's like, okay, we have a level here. Let me anticipate a reaction. But yeah, as of right now, next key level of support on Ethereum, and again, the reason why I may not spend too much time here on the altcoins is just because everything looks very similar. 4-day money flow coming out. If this crosses into the red, a continuation to the downside is going to be more likely than not. So next key levels of support on Ethereum are going to be down here where I believe this is a weekly naked point of control, I believe, or a monthly naked point of control. I would have to, yeah, I believe this is a monthly naked point of control. sitting at about $2,000 even almost, right? You also have the psychological area of $2,000, right? You have that nice even number. People like to take profits, so that psychological level is also going to be strong. And by taking profits, I mean taking profits on shorts. And then, if you break that, guys, I'll be honest, like the next high time frame level, let me pull up ExoCharts really quickly, and I'm going to pull up the monthly naked points of controls for ETH just so I can double check that. I want to make sure I get you guys the most accurate information. I don't want to say these are MPOCs if they're not. That's going to take a minute to load. But, yeah, these are we'll double check them in a second. But, yeah, other than that, I'd be looking down towards, $2,000, right? Next psychological level of support. And then if we pull up our monthly time frame, we did hit a monthly horizontal here as well. I'll label this a monthly, bada boom. Pull up the weekly as well. Yeah, so you have a weekly horizontal here as well. Do I have these marked? I probably have these marked out. Where is it? Bada boom. Yeah. All right. So you have a weekly here. Untapped. Oh, now it's tapped. Yeah. So he did come down to some pretty strong support. You had a monthly, a weekly, and then underneath that, $2,000 is going to be a big level to watch. Even if I pull this kind of volume profile, let's pull it here. Bada boom. So maybe if we wind up getting accepted back into this value area, kind of bing bong around, come to the low, deviate into this, what I think is a weekly naked point of, monthly naked point of control. Let me label that. It's in my monthly folder, so that's why I assumed that. But again, I just wanted to double check. I don't want to give you guys, I don't want to make a mistake here and have people watch on the wrong levels. But indeed, that was a monthly naked point of control. And indeed, 1637 is also a monthly naked point of control. So I was correct. But again, want to make sure you guys have the cleanest stuff here. So, so taking a look here, right? Naked value area. I will mark this out with a little box, bada boom. So maybe, right? And again, what are we looking at here, right? You had your fair value. Remember, price is always hunting fair value. If you lose this value area, where is price likely to go? It's likely to seek out previous balance from an old range, and that is exactly what happened. It's called auction market theory. I did not invent this, but what I can tell you is I use it, and it works. So if we did wind up coming down here, obviously on a lower time frame, we kind of bing-bong around. This is the range I'd be looking at between 21.46 and about 25.56, right? So we kind of, if we do wind up building value here, bing-bong around, if we were to come down and take these lows into the monthly naked point of control, it could be a situation where, again, if you see that consolidation, you could start to look for trades within the context of the range. That's going to be kind of the next levels of support, as well as kind of where we are at right now. And then for, moves to the upside, if we are going to look for rejections, very similar. I'm not going to give every single level. I'd be sitting here all night if I gave every level on every coin. But same thing, right? Looking for those Fibonacci retracements in confluence with other key levels such as such as value areas, right? So I'll get rid of this. This is all tapped. I would keep these tapped dailies here. So again, if I pulled my fib, even from all the way from the absolute high to the low, this value area low is now key resistance. Bada boom, bada bing. There you go. Right? So there you go. So if you do come back up, this is major resistance. Now, there's no guarantee we get all the way back up there, but if we did, not only is this key resistance, but it's also the doorway to potentially, if we started getting above this, maybe things aren't so bad, right? But it's definitely going to be very important resistance here. Not only do you have the value area low golden pocket, you also have this spider line that we could flip to resistance, which, by the way, guys, shout out to the spider lines on ETH. I mean, talk about respect. Unbelievable. Just bing bong. Also daily naked points of controls as well. But that spider line, the spider lines do not lie, guys. So there you go. That is what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Double check those MPOCs for you guys. So yes, those are indeed the correct levels. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Frankie's new chair. Oh my God. It says, Frankie, baby, I promise I will not let you down during live streams. You'll never have to pump me up. I will be your rock so you don't have to look so short. Shout out to Frankie's new chair. Oh God, now I feel bad. He's just on the side of the road waiting for me to pick him up. All right, I'll come get you. Maybe not today, but I'll come get you. I promise. Funny thing in Nashville, one of the, almost every single person that was like, oh, Frankie Candles, what's up, man? I like your channel. every person that came up, awesome, totally awesome people. But I will say the most common first comment is, hey, I love your channel, man. Thanks for everything you do. You are way taller than I thought you were. And it's all thanks to this old dang chair that always sinks down slowly. We've been doing good today, but it does sink down slowly almost every single day. So shout out to Frankie's new chair. Thank you for the super chat. And we will come pick you up soon, I promise. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. I am for Frankie's eyes only. I am a loyal chair. Shout out to Frankie's new chair. Yeah, we're in a committed relationship. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. No way. There's no way that it's like it knew we were talking about it. I don't know if you guys can even tell. It's going down real slow. But yeah, we are. Yeah. This is why everybody thinks I'm short. It's this dang chair. Unbelievable. Just slowly sinking down here. Hi guys. Oh, God. I don't know why I'm like this. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on to So Committed. Shout out to Wick. Don't sell your altcoins in the red this week. Shout out to Shekel. Shout out to you. Shekel said that, not me. But, you got to make your own financial decisions. Bro's a giant. Shout out to Goldavelli, right? I just sit up, guys. I'm just huge. No, I'm like 6'1". I mean, 6 foot. I'm like 6 foot and 3/4, right? I always say 6 foot because I'm not gonna like squeeze that extra inch. I don't care. But yeah, I'm like 6 feet and 3/4 of an inch. So there you go. It's like, I guess, kind of tall. I'm not like awkwardly tall. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Crypto Billy said, Tony streaming 8K snagging like Flash Gordon. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Hope you're doing well, brother. I'm just trying to find these altcoins. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. Oh, it's already pinned. Shout out to, I guess Tony D pinned that. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Dogecoin. Then we got Link, Solana, XRP. We got a lot of good stuff. Actually, first off, let's take a look at XRP, guys. And the reason I want to do that is because shout out to the volume profiles. Bada boom. Here we are, guys. What are we looking at here? Well, very simply put, if you guys remember, let's see, it was back here on the 7th of July. After that $53,000 dump on Bitcoin, we had XRP sub 40 cents. And what we were looking at here were local value areas, right? We got the big dump below, this area of balance. And then we looked at if we are going to get a push to the upside, we could look to target that previous balance. And then if we can get above that POC, we could potentially look to go to that value area high at about 54 cents. We then saw that come in, and then we needed to find new targets if we got a bigger move up. So simply put, we pulled a bigger volume profile, which was in the context of this range right here, and we said, hey, if we could flip that 54-cent level, right, which was eerily close to this POC, we could potentially look for a 62-cent XRP. And then we saw that 62-cent XRP come on in. We obviously deviated from the high. But remember, as we were looking here, these blue boxes that we showed on the live stream was in anticipation of a pullback. If we were able to get that pullback, I wanted to have some areas where I could potentially look for long positions. Now, a lot of those levels, the local ones, got obviously melted through after we saw that Bitcoin dump. However, where are we getting the bounce from? Right from the value area low, weekly naked point of control that we had all the way at the bottom here, which was our lowest level. And simply put, price went to the value area high. This is where you look for rejections. And I was hoping for, more of a small pullback to put a higher low in and then look for a fresh long position. Obviously, I didn't take any longs here because there was no confirmations to take one. But we used the context of the volume profile to figure out what was going to happen next, right? We came from the low to the POC to the high, and then once you deviate above that high, this is where you can look for potential retracements. And if you get back into the value area, you could potentially look for the move back to the POC and then back to where? The value area low. So very simply put, guys, like not only was this volume profile able to help us predict the move to the upside, but also the move to the downside. And again, I wasn't necessarily anticipating that, if we deviated, we were looking for the value area low. To be quite honest, I would have preferred we had other levels here. I could actually pull them up if you guys want to see them. I have like all this TA hidden. It's going to be really hard to, I'll just go like this. There we go. I was hoping for a potential retracement to this golden pocket or 786 for a potential higher low and a continuation up. But Trading is an if this then that statement. If we lost this level, we look down to the POC. And again, overall, you're just looking at things in the context of the volume profile, which would be to go from the low to the POC to the high, from the high to the POC to the low. I know the levels aren't there, but I think you guys get the point. So until we wind up, I wish I didn't. I got to hide all this stuff now just to make it nice and clean. If we just kind of range around in here, to be honest, as long as we hold above this value area low, right? As long as we remain inside this range, we can play this as a volume profile, right? Hold the low, look to go to the POC. Hopefully you won't go backwards, but hold the low, go to the POC, flip the POC. You can look to go to the high. However, if you take a look at your money flow, come on, bada boom, come over to the 4-day. Money flow's already in the red. 5-day red dot printing, 6-day red dot printing. Is that a blood diamond? It is not, interestingly enough. So no blood diamond. I guess that's a decent sign. And then the weekly red dot printing as well. Weekly red blood diamond. No blood diamond on the weekly either. But these red dots are likely to give you a continuation down, right? So, same thing with, almost everything I'm going to look at today, or have looked at today, I should say. The bias here, money flow, fresh crossover on the 5-hour, 8-hour, freshly crossing over into the red. So I would have to anticipate if you get a bounce, it's got to be looked at as a potential lackluster bounce to continue the move to the downside. Key level below, weekly and monthly naked point of control at 37 cents would be a very key level to watch. So there you go. There is XRP. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Just make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Bada boom. Let's see. Yeah, ETH chart's super ugly. Yeah, ETH chart absolutely melted, or ETH melted through absolutely everything. Shout out to Laugh at Life. Said Frankie, what do you got against short guys? Shout out to Laugh at Life. I got nothing against short guys. I just think it's funny that everyone thought I was like they were looking at me. They were like, oh my god, bro, I thought you were way shorter. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like if anything, I look tall. But hey, it's got to be that chair. It's got to be that dang chair. It's actually funny. I don't really see height, to be quite honest with you guys. It's like I don't even know like if it doesn't matter how tall you are. I just kind of see everybody as my height. I don't know. Like sometimes someone will comment on someone else's height, like, oh wow, I didn't realize that guy was that short. And I'm always thinking like, or vice versa. Oh my god, I didn't realize that guy was that tall. And I'm always like, was he that tall? Was he that short? I didn't even realize. It's pretty funny. Mrs. Candles cracks up at me all the time because I just like don't see height. I'm like height blind. I don't know. But anyway, shout out to Steven Sansbury. Says great show as usual. It's golden hour, baby. Shout out to Steven Sansbury. Are you talking about physical golden hour? Gotta love that for the beautiful pictures. But anyway, let's go ahead and get. Yo, Golden said only women and short guys see height. Shout out to Golden. It's golden. Oh, golden hour. Smash down likes. You mean golden hour? Yeah, it's golden hour every live stream, both physically and with our boy Golden. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Taking a look at. Let's see, Dogecoin. Let's take a quick look at Doge, and then we'll take a look at Solana, and then we'll take a look at X. What was it? That super chat, was it XCN? And potentially Reef. Yeah, XCN and Reef. We'll try to take a look at those as well. But again, I'm going to kind of go through these pretty quickly. I'll give you guys the key levels of support because everything kind of looks iffy. Flat Sack says fake dump. I hope so, brother. I really do hope so. That would be very, very nice. Let's go ahead and... Okay, so... I guess we'll take a look at Dogecoin first. And here we are, right? And you guys will notice, if you guys do follow along with our levels, you will notice something very similar, right? Or not something very interesting, I should say. If you are following around or following along with the charts that I have on these live streams, right? Most of them are based off of previous areas of balance, right? You have balance up here, balance down there. And what do we always say? Price always seeks fair value, a.k.a. price is going to be gravitated towards these ranges, right? So, and if we pull up the VPVR, you guys can see that these ranges are oftentimes, I want to say synonymous, but oftentimes very close to these high volume nodes. And what do we say about high volume nodes? They simply act as magnets. It's kind of just two different ways to look at it, right? You could see, once you get imbalance and you reject this range, where's price going to likely go? Well, it's probably going to go hunt out previous balance, which is down here at that range. Now, specifically, it is going to seek out the point of control of these ranges as that is the highest the area where the highest amount of volume was transacted, right? And these POCs, which are also synonymous with these very close to these high volume nodes, this all acts as a magnet. Price likes to go where these POCs are, and they just happen to be in these areas of balance. So very simply put, whether you're looking at this in terms of volume profiles or visible range volume profiles, where you can simply just look at price being attracted to high volume nodes, right? You'll just notice this. Like, you could look at any chart you want, right? If you zoom in and you look at the volume, price is going to have high volume nodes on the ranging price action, right? You can see a range here. Well, I wanted to hide the TA, but you have a range here, high volume node, right? Even here, you have a little range here, higher volume node. Where you have a lack in volume, price oftentimes slides through very quickly, right? Quick move up equals quick move down more often than not. And if you have a quick move down, where is price going to gravitate to? Very simply put, you're going to fall through the low volume gap and you're going to target a high volume node, which is oftentimes the POC of a previous range. So whether you're looking at price, looking at it as price gravitating towards high volume nodes or kind of range hopping, this is how the market moves, right? You have balance and imbalance. Price ranges 80% of the time, 20% it is trending or impulsing. So yeah, that's how the market moves. And when it impulses, it's going to hunt out that previous balance. And you can see here, we tapped this previous POC almost to the dollar. So right now, I would be looking at Dogecoin in terms of these two volume profiles. You kind of have a fall off in volume in the middle of them. So as long as you remain inside this volume profile, I would expect, right, you've already come down to test that POC. Let me grab some horizontal lines. Bada boom. Bada bing. There we go. Right there and right there, right? So actually put two lines there. So look at that, right? Is it a coincidence that when we found imbalance and we rejected this range that we went to go hunt out the previous balance, right? The POC. No, not at all. This is very common. So as we look here, yeah, I mean, technically on the daily, we are kind of getting above this volume profile. But these are your lower levels on Dogecoin, right? If you lose this value area high at 0.094, you're probably going back to the POC. Lose the POC, I would look down towards that value area low at 0.0638. But if you get back above it, right, this is kind of like no man's land in my opinion. Maybe we create new balance in here potentially, right? That could be something that we wind up seeing, or you might just fly right back through this and try to go for this area of balance. So you're just kind of playing range hide and seek here, or range ping pong, I should say. You're just bing bonging around until you either get accepted in here or accepted down here. And those are kind of what I would look for. And you have those nice key levels, this value area high and this value area low. This value area low is the doorway to higher prices. This value area high is the doorway to lower prices. Very simply put, because once you get below the value area high, you look to potentially fill the range. And once you get above the value area low, you look to potentially fill the range, right? So those are the key levels. Other than that, I'll be honest. 4-day money flow crossing over into the red. Looks the same as everything else on Market Cypher, in my own personal opinion. All right, there we go. Bada boom, bada bing. You guys are funny. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here. So I want to take a look at Solana really quickly, guys, because Solana just really, really respecting what we were looking at on the live stream. Right now, as you guys know, this is the range that we've been looking at Solana in, right? As long as we held above this POC, we looked for a fill of the range. We front ran that value area high, which is very uncommon. You don't typically see a front run of the value area high like that. However, this was our doorway to higher prices. What happened? We broke it and we got the doorway to open up, gave us that move to higher prices, approach that value area high. Again, not a perfect setup here. You did have the bear divs, but I would have liked to see it touch that actual short zone. But you got the bearish divergences, got the move to the downside, and I believe on, was it Friday's live stream, I believe we were saying, or looking at this local value area saying, hey, if we can't get back above this low and go to the high and we get rejected out of this range, the next likely place for price to go is going to be to that value area low, where if we lose that value area low and this daily naked point of control, that next level of support, shout out to anybody who watches this stream every single day. You guys know we were looking right down to this value area high, sitting at about 109, almost 110, almost 110. And what happened? Quick drop and quick bounce right from that key level. And right now, this is a similar situation as Dogecoin, just kind of bing-bonging around value areas. This is your key level of support, and this is really a zone here. Extend that a little bit. This is a zone, value area high POC, because these are so close to each other at the high of the range. That POC is going to be the key level that you want to hold, right? So if you lose that POC, probably going to get the bigger drop down where you have your next key level of support sitting at $80. I don't know if we're getting down there, but, again, as long as you bing bong around here, this is your doorway to potential higher prices. This is your doorway to potential lower prices. And again, remember, based off money flow, you would have to favor, right? Doesn't mean that you couldn't have taken a long down here in anticipation of a bounce. But with the way money flow looks right now, 4-day coming out, 2-day in the red, 3-day coming down, 6-day red dot printing, 5-day green dot, red dot printing. Money flow kind of flat there, not really coming down that aggressively. Weekly red dot also printing. Is it a blood diamond? Yes, weekly blood diamond also printing on Solana. So I'd be careful here. Have we seen that happen before? Yeah, we did see it happen here after we kind of bing-bonged around, got one more drop to the downside. But definitely the same kind of sentiment here on Bitcoin. I am letting dust settle, and I don't think it's impossible based off the money flow. If we do get the bounce up, you have to look at it in terms of a lackluster push to the upside to put a lower high in and continue down. Very similar sentiment with everything here. Shout out to Jay Violet, said we really should have more likes. I don't know what the likes are looking like right now, but smash that like button if you guys are finding value in the content, or you appreciate I don't know, if you appreciate Aztec and Cactus Moss Water, go ahead and smash that like button. Ooh, this one's cold. I'm gonna pop this. 6:54. People say I don't sleep. I wonder why. I'm popping it. I'm popping it, guys. I'm doing it. Not like I need any more energy. It's so funny when we get new people in here. They're like, what is this guy on? Guys, this is what it looks like when you get to do your favorite thing every single day. I'm just kidding. I'm not always like this. But let's see. Shout out to Dave Digital, said, Rob, when are you going to get fired? Shout out to Dave Digital, looking to sneak in and take Rob's job, even though Dave is one of our most elite mods. He's actually a one-of-one mod. Shout out to Golden, dropping those blue L's in the chat. I don't know what those are. I've never seen that in my life, Golden. I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, let's see. Shout out to Wick, said, you're our favorite person, Frankie. Shout out to Wick. You're my favorite person, bro. You guys are my favorite people. And it's an easy decision to make. We have the best community out here. I feel lucky to have you guys. There's a lot of toxic communities out there, and we just don't have one. It's just people who want to help people is what the CandleMafia is. And that is my only goal here, guys, is obviously, I never tell you guys, prices going up when I don't think. My genuine goal here is to give the most data-driven approach to TA, give you guys the bullish case, the bearish case, and, leave the emotions out of it. I have nothing to gain other than extra YouTube views, right? I don't care about clout. I don't care about money grabs. I care about helping people. I don't measure my success based off my views, although I do like to get more views. We want to grow the channel so we can help the most amount of people. But the real goal of my channel, guys, I measure my success and how many DMs and how many super chats. If you've been here for a while, you know what I'm talking about. I measure my success based off the DMs and the super chats of people saying, Frankie, thank you so much for spending so much time explaining things to me. You helped me out a ton. I made X amount of money. I just paid off my car. I helped my kid go to college, and it's all because of what I learned here with you. And that's how I measure my success. And that's genuine. I think a lot of people can't understand that there might be a good human out there with a YouTube channel that really just wants to help people. Obviously, this is a business. Obviously, we like to get paid too. But really, my main focus is, guys, I would put, green thumbnails all the time. Oh my God, this is the bottom. Buy. I'd get way more clicks. But I genuinely measure my success in the success of my community. And, I'm very lucky. We get a lot of super chats. We get a lot of DMs that, people are really, really finding useful information, and they're getting a lot of education. It's really helping people. And that's how I measure my success. And I just couldn't really, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I was just coming up here like a lot of other people do and try to fleece their community. It's just not what I'm about. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. So shout out to you guys. And somehow I wound up with the best community ever. Like the most, you guys help each other in the Discord. It's it really is crazy. It really is crazy. I feel incredibly lucky to be in this situation with you guys and have such a such a positive community. So shout out to you guys. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. That was Solana. So yeah, kind of just bing bong in between value areas there. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at Link. And then shout out, I forget who sent it, but we're not going to leave you hanging, bro. Whoever sent the super chat for XCN or Reef, I won't leave you hanging. We are going to take a look here in just a second. What am I doing? Going to crypto. Here we go. Actually, I'm just going to pull up this link chart on the live stream chart. Bada boom, bada bing. So there we go. Okay, so, oh, no, Link. Oh, man, a lot of this stuff is really just, whoo, baby. This does not look, ugh. You know what's going up, guys? I promise. It's going up. Keep clicking the like button. I'm just kidding. But anyway, let's see here. Bada boom. So I will just mark this out. We've had this. This is kind of, Link is one of those coins that I kind of go to as like a textbook example of value hunting, right? Price is always seeking fair value. As you can see, fair value, right? Well, we actually kind of made new fair value down here, but you have your bear market range. Once you break out of that bear market range, where are you looking for price to go? Well, likely it's going to hunt out the next significant area of balance, which was sitting up here starting at 15 cents. You get the impulse up. Where do we go? Directly to that 15-cent level. It's funny. Someone commented on this the other day. We literally talked about this like the day before this happened. And we went up to that value area low, right? And then once you get above, that's typically where you get that move towards the POC. But you guys can see we were unable to get that move. And we kind of just consolidated down here before getting this massive drop to the downside. Ooh, man. So I will say here, right, like, this is a local range. I'm actually going to clean this up a bit because we've now lost this range. It's not useless or anything like that, but you could kind of look at this as like a larger range now, like this. However, for the most part, maybe I will keep that little local range here. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, you've melted through this level. Let's see, do we even respect this on the lower time frames? Yeah, just to show you guys, right? It does look like these levels just got melted through. But if you go to a lower time frame, these break down, bearish retest, as you would expect. Once you can't get above that, you're looking for the move to the POC and the move to the low. And then you get the rejection on the POC, absolute meltdown. So yeah, it looked like you melted through them, but they really did get respected. Even here, you tap that POC before coming back up. But as of right now, yeah, quick move down through this low volume gap. If I pull up that VPVR. Shout out to Golden. Thank you so much for that super chat. He says, I support you because you're a great human being. You're humble and truly help so many people. Shout out to Golden. Help so many people, including me, learn how to be the best trader. Shout out to Golden. I appreciate those kind words, bro. Obviously, love all the support and appreciate all the support you give the CandleMafia and this channel. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. And that's all I could do, guys, right? I'm just gonna be myself. So, yeah, it's oh God, if anyone knew me in real life, they would know. Yeah, like I said, I think there are some people out there that think it's like impossible. There's no way there's a guy out there that really isn't just trying to, take a money grab from crypto. It's like, no, yeah, it's like we're really here to help you guys. And but shout out to Golden. I appreciate you so much, bro. I know the Mafia does as well. All right, let's see. Shout out to Dave says, if Frankie is a jock, does that make Golden a shock supporter? Shout out to Dave Digital. Oh, God, shout out to you, brother. I probably wouldn't classify myself as a jock. I played sports growing up, but I would probably classify myself as like, I don't know. I would say like if I had to put myself in the category as someone like, I don't know. I grew up in like an outdoorsman family, right? Like hunting, fishing, that kind of stuff. Played sports in school, but I was never really that super interested in it. Kind of always interested in business and like money and like honestly technical analysis from like a younger age than people would probably be willing to believe. So yeah, I was always just kind of into business. I remember being like in elementary school, starting an advice business. I had a little binder and I made up prices, 5 cents. I'll never forget. I still have the binder probably. 5 cents for one piece of advice. And I tried to go sell advice. I don't think I sold anything, but yeah. Shout out to you guys. But anyway, continuing on here, looking at Chainlink. Yeah, like you could see fall off in volume. Whoops. Come on. Yep, there we go. Fall off in volume oftentimes gives you that quick move down, right? Quick move up oftentimes leads to a quick move down. You lose that value area low. You fall through the low volume gap. Where'd you get the support? Right on that shelf of volume starting right here. So naturally, guys, for me, I would have to wait for consolidation here. You have a next area of balance above is sitting between 1040 and about 1170. To the downside, 782 all the way down to about $6.08 are going to be those next levels of support. Other than that, kind of sitting in this like no man's land. So unless we build value here, I would look for a move back up into one of these ranges or down into this range. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, you like dominoes and you're from New York City. Needed to check your ego. Too many nice things being said, and Tyler isn't here. Shout out to Tyler Durden. Yeah, I will say this. I like Domino's, but I do classify it as just fast food. I don't classify it as pizza. But if you eat Domino's with the white sauce, bacon, sausage, and feta cheese, I'm telling you right now, handmade pan with the white Parmesan sauce instead of tomato sauce, feta cheese, sausage, bacon, and I put hot sauce on half of it. Oh, my God. One of my favorite meals. Makes me feel like garbage afterwards. But not pizza. It's just really good Domino's. I just consider Domino's. But shout out to Creighton C. I do love Domino's. That is true. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Jonah Lang. What is going on, bro? Good to see you in here. Yeah, Tony D says, yo, listen, it's hard to mess up. It's hard to mess up bread, sauce, and cheese, even if it's garbage. That is true, right? Like bread, sauce, and cheese is going to be good no matter who's making it. But if Tony D makes it, I promise you, it will be your favorite piece of pizza. I don't know. He's like he's in his house, like doing like science experiments with the sauce. It's intense. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to our next altcoin, which is going to be XCN. Let's go ahead and check it. Bada boom, bada bing. I guess we'll take a look at it on Coinbase. Actually, something we have never looked at before, I don't think. What is Onyx Coin? I don't know if I ever heard of this. But yeah, I will try to do my best here. I don't know what this is. I don't know the fundamentals or anything like that, but I will give you my technical stance here. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly red dot confirmed. 6-day red dot confirmed. Actually, this is one thing looking a little different than everything else. 4-day money flow crossover into the red. Chances are, if everything else dumps, this is likely to follow. 4-day money flow crossover into the red. 5-day money flow kind of just holding up here, but I would expect that to come down, especially if that 3 and 4-day money flow continues out. But here are some key levels that I could give you on this. Again, I don't know if this is a good project, a bad project, but this is just strictly not financial advice and only technical analysis. And my technical analysis, should give you absolutely no insight into what is going on, because we all know TA is fake and doesn't work, and definitely can't make you money. Anyway, here we are. Let's take a look here. So, all right, you lost the golden pocket right down to the 786. So you did get a nice little bounce off that 786, like beautiful tap to the dollar before coming up. I mean, pretty simple here. I don't know if I would say simple, but as of right now, what you would like to see, let's see the 4-hour. Oh, my God, look at all those green dots. 2 green dots is a snake eyes, but what is 6 of them? Is that like a spider eyes? We have spider lines. Do we now have spider eyes? Shout out to Crypto Face. So you do slightly have some kind of wonked out bull div here, right into that 786, which again, I mean, this is something that, you wouldn't want to long right now, in my opinion, right? I would rather catch this at the bottom. But if we do wind up getting a bigger bounce here, coming up above that value area low, could be like this is probably going to be the key level to get above. Because if I let's pull it from this scam wick. Yeah, I would probably rather pull it from like here. Yeah. So your next key level of resistance, if you're looking, whether you're looking for shorts or you're looking for, what levels you need to flip to support in order to get a bigger move up. Again, I don't know about this project very much, and by very much, I mean at all. But if we did get a move here, like get above that 786 value area low, that would probably be able to give you a bit more of a move to the upside, where you have a POC sitting at 0.00203. And then your value area high sitting at 0.00257. So yeah, these are the levels that I would be looking at. That's definitely your key level of resistance here. 0.00, starting at that golden pocket at 0.00136. Get above that 786 at 0.00147. Then you could potentially look for a bigger move up. But again, I would be very, very, very careful here, especially with the rest of the market coming down. Could be a lower high before a continuation down. So hopefully that helps you out. I wish I can give you a little more insight here. It is a little bit of a, I mean, it looks like this thing has done nothing but go down since 2022. Doesn't mean it can't come back up. But, yeah, like VWAP coming up on the daily, like that next daily green dot's probably your best shot at getting back into this range. But if you reject here, I would potentially be looking lower. So there you go. Let's see. I used to love going to kids parties at Pizza Hut. Shout out to Jay Violet or Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese parties were the classic. Shout out to Wick said, Frankie has a wife and kids. He can't spend more time on new alts. Shout out to Wick 589. Shout out to Wick. I have an imaginary wife and kids. And I got Mrs. Candles, who is definitely wifey material. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. Shout out to Elite Ways says BTC holds 52K. All or most alts get a pump 100 to 130% on the way to 80 plus. By the fear, I think it says by the far, but I assume you make by the fear, Elite Ways EZ. Shout out to you. Yeah, definitely, yeah, like a lot of people in premium were asking me if I was selling my spot bags. I am definitely not selling any of my spot bags, guys, to be quite honest. Like, my average buy-in is 20 to 21K here for Bitcoin. So, this is not as scary to me as it is to a lot of other people. But I understand that not everybody is in the same situation. So, yeah, definitely not selling my spot bags. But, if I were buying my spot bags up here, like I know, probably a bunch of people did do, that's a different situation, right? Completely different scenario. So, so yeah. Shout out to Honest says, what about Solana? Shout out to you. We actually did look at Solana. If you scrub back a little bit, we just went over Solana. But yeah, let's see. Bada boom. Dang, I just realized how far behind I am. Shout out to Jonah Lang. No worries, bro. But guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us. Again, be careful out there with the high time frame money flow. Even if we see a bounce here, I want you guys to remember, I'm going to pull up the screen one more time here. Even on this dump to 53K, when we got that retracement to the upside, this was anticipated as a potential lower high to come in and a projection to the downside based off higher time frame money flow. And a lot of people said here, again, when I brought up that 51 to 52K zone that we came down to, a lot of people called me crazy. How could he be looking down there? Like, look at this move. This is bullish. But you have to take the higher time frames into account. What is money flow doing? What is the market structure saying, right? So, not that we can't just yeet off to higher prices for some reason, but just know that even if we get these pumps, they can feel very bullish, but you have to keep that higher time frame bias in your mind. And again, it's not that, you can't have a high time frame bias, fake you out and give you a bigger move up. Definitely possible, especially in a bull market, but just remember, get a push to the upside doesn't necessarily mean instant moon. It could just be another lackluster retracement to put the lower high in and continue down to lower prices. So with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Smash that like button on your way out if you found this live stream helpful in any way, shape, or form. Or if you like, puppies or babies, definitely smash that like button because we just assume you don't like puppies or babies. If you don't hit it, but we can't tell who doesn't hit it though. But yeah, with all that being said, guys, thank you so much. Shout out to Frankie's new chair. Thank you for being here, bro, and smashing that like button. K Diggity, thank you for being here. Jay Violet, all set. Parnov, Mr. ETC, Steven Sansbury, Wick 589, Bala or Baya, I don't know. I still never know what to call you. Shout out to Dude, Dr. Crimson's girlfriend, French Toaster, Captain Kirk. Give them on some love in the chat, guys, and I will see you right here. Same time, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Pray for Bitcoin. Hope Asia doesn't dump us. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spin for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, thought they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what nobody's mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's enemy. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Who said it? Who said it? Somebody said it. Shout out to Mont. Yo, shout out to Mont. Says, shout out to all the Italian bakeries. I have not stepped foot in an Italian bakery in 3 years. And boy, do I miss those rainbow cookies. Actually, my mom's rainbow cookies are better. But shout out to all the Italian bakeries out there. If you guys are out there and business is good, please, for the love of God, buy Bitcoin. Pump us back up. Golden, please save us. Somebody out there. Somebody buy Bitcoin. Pump this thing back to pump it back to 70K. But yeah, shout out to Dave Digital. I love each and every single one of you guys. I was trying to think of something to do here on the fake out, but shout out to you guys. I love each and every single one of you. Thank you guys for showing up every day and hanging out with us. And we'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time. Hopefully Bitcoin either at the same price or higher. Hopefully it's not lower. But that high time frame money flow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited.
Tom Crown in the chat, what's up, bro?
Now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put